Hey Pisces, this is Sniper Tarot. I'm here to do a financial forecast for the month of September for you. So I had a request when it came to like legal inheritance or something like that. So I'm just going to do a financial forecast that will be for the sign of Pisces. So all placements of Pisces for the month of September, and perhaps that information will come out in this reading. So let's call in spirit and see what your financial forecast is for the month of September 2026. Okay, Pisces, I hope that you guys are all doing well. So kind of changing it up a little bit and doing a financial forecast for the month of September. Let's pull a few oracle cards first to start off with. I hope that you're all doing well. One just flew out, or a couple flew out. Sorry about that. I hope that you guys are all doing well. Today's Thursday. Looking forward to the weekend as we are coming into the eclipse of our own sign here, Pisces. And I just want to relay that, somebody had commented on one of my videos saying, well, this reading sounds like it's for you. Well, of course it's going to be, it can, resonate with a lot of different people. It can resonate with, anyone across the world. It can resonate with the reader. It can resonate with the listener. I'm also a Pisces. So, of course, it's probably going to resonate with me somewhat, especially because when Spirit speaks with me, in any kind of like intuition or spirit conversation, Spirit uses examples that you're used to try to relay the message. So I just want to put that out there. Even mediums do that. So, they show signs and symbols that are specific for you, okay, as the reader, so that you can say those things to the person that's listening to the reading. So of course it's going to resonate with me somewhat, but it's not a reading that's for me. So specifically, a lot of the times, Spirit may say something to the collective during my reading, and then I will think about it later, and I'm like, you know what? That really resonates with me, and I really need to think about what I was saying in that reading and put it into my own life. So of course it's going to resonate with me. So I'm going to leave that there. Let's pull some oracle cards, Pisces, and see what your financial forecast is for the month of September. Angels, guides, ancestors, what does Pisces need to know about their financial forecast for September? We have resources. Be grateful for what you have and save something for the future. Use wisely as needed. I think we all need to know that. What else? Financial future for September 2026. It says exhausted. Feel financially drained, lacking viable options, recharge and regroup. Really looking at your resources here, I'm feeling, Pisces, for the month of September. What else? One more, please. Okay. And we have savings. Okay. Well, this makes a lot of sense here as I'm pulling these oracle cards here. So we have resources. Be grateful for what you have and save something for the future. We have savings here. Okay. So it says use wisely as needed. Okay. So savings, you always need to put something off for a bad day. So create savings for the future because you don't want to feel exhausted, feel financially drained, lacking viable options in order to recharge and regroup. So perhaps you've gone through some financial hardship in the recent past here, Pisces, is what Spirit is saying to me. And you felt financially drained. What Spirit is reminding you is to be grateful for what you have, first of all, but you need to start saving for the rainy day because you don't want to feel exhausted again when you've gone through this financial drainage. So savings are important. You always need to put something away for a bad day or something unexpected. So create a savings for the future. Let's pull some tarot and see what's going to happen for the month of September. But yeah, that's a good omen for anyone, honestly, no matter where you are in your financial situation. So let me know in the comment section also what other types of readings you would like to have. If you want like specific love readings, I'll always do your dailies. But if you're wanting something, you know, here and there, let me know. And thank you guys so much for like all the comments. And you know, it is a safe place for you to comment here and talk about your lives. You know, I always try to give you a little bit of information about what's going on with me. You know, I talked about I'm in my final chapter. Well, you know, that's kind of just what I said. I feel like I'm in my final chapter. You know, it doesn't mean I'm dying tomorrow, but it just feels like I'm in that place where I've learned a lot through life. I've gone through a heck of a lot. But it doesn't mean life is over, you know, so, and just because I haven't dated, you know, I shared that too, like I was divorced last year, but, you know, the divorce was final last year, but it was a long time before that separated. So like, you know, I've said I haven't even dated yet. It doesn't necessarily mean that I have to date. And I appreciate all of your comments and stuff and your perspectives on my life. But, you know, I don't know what I'm going to do. I have no idea what I'm going to do. It doesn't mean I need somebody. I'm perfectly content and peaceful in my own existence. So, you know, I was just relaying some of those things that, you know, Spirit was saying to me during those readings. So take it with a grain of salt. That's all I can say to you. You know, we're human beings at the core of all of this. And, you know, we're living our best lives the best way we know how, right? Spirit, what is the financial future forecast for September 2026 for Pisces, please? What do they need to know about their financial for September? Okay, so there's going to be some changes here. We've got the Tower reversed. What else? It may not be a huge change, but yep, there's definitely an ending coming in for you. You may be ending like a job or transferring. I'm being called to say you may be transferring in a job. There's an ending to something that's happening. You have a fear about this though. What else? We have the King of Wands reversed here. What else? For the financial for September for Pisces, please. Okay, you want to jump out too? All right. Whew, Pisces. Okay. Eight of Pentacles in the shadow for what you don't see. Okay, so you have been very methodical. You have been really working hard. It seems like Pisces, you know, you're trying to work balance in life, you know, balance in play, fun times, work-life balance. It's important to your longevity. It's important to you feeling good is to have that work-life balance. That's important to you. That's what's in the shadow here. I feel like you've been diligent about how you've been working hard to try to create a more stable environment for yourself. Perhaps you've gone through something where it left you exhausted financially, and you are working harder to try to save, to have resources for when there is a rainy day so you don't have to go through this financial drainage again. You could also be looking at something new, so that you don't feel so exhausted working all the time, or feeling financially drained. We're in an economy right now where, the cost of living is going up, but salaries are not going up, right? So you're feeling exhausted, burning the candle at both ends, perhaps, and you just want a work-life balance. What are you doing? Oh, you got your baby. Okay. So what I'm seeing here is you have a fear of suffering again with this Tower card. You have a fear of going through this financial exhaustion again, okay? So you're wanting to maybe put an end to that, perhaps by saving money, perhaps by, taking whatever money that is coming your way and putting it towards a place of investment or something like that. With the Death card, you may also be changing jobs, looking for something that is going to be more fruitful for you so that you have that work-life balance, where you're not burning the candle at both ends. So take it as it resonates here. With this King of Wands being at the center of your reading here, I'm feeling like, your expectations on life, you feel like what you want is almost impossible, right? You're feeling like, can I have a work-life balance? Can I keep my head above water? Like most of us right now, like I said, the economy, the price of things just keep going up and up and up, right? And the quality of the things that we're buying are not the greatest either, but the price keeps going up. And the salaries are not increasing, right? So you feel like your expectations are almost impossible because you're working against a government or society that is making it difficult to have that work-life balance that you crave, right? And it's just a feeling that you have. You have this passionate feeling to want to have this work-life balance where you want to work to live, not live to work, right? Like most of us want to do. And instead, what you're finding yourself is very isolated, with the Three of Pentacles being in the reverse position. You're finding yourself isolated, sitting at work, diligently working, being methodical, task at hand, blah, 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 and not having any fun, not having that work-life balance. So there's like an isolation from actually doing things in groups or out being social, because you're afraid, that you may end up in this place again where you're feeling financially drained if you go out and spend money. With this King of Swords being here, it's almost like it's a choice. It's a choice that you need to make in what you want to do with your financial future. To take a new job, to close a chapter, to move on to something else, to see if there's happiness there. And you need to have the perspective, in other words, to choose whatever situation works best for you. Let's go back and clarify. Please clarify the Tower. Okay. Yeah, there's the Temperance here. You're wanting that work-life balance. You have a fear that you're never going to have that work-life balance that you want, right? To connect with other people in a way that is not just work, 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 work. You seek this balance. Please clarify the Death card. So you're looking at things realistically here with the King of Pentacles. and you know you need to make a change. Because you're saying to yourself, you know what, I got one life to live. And I want to make the best of my life now. No matter if it's going to cost me a lot of money or make a change in my life, I want a better work-life balance. So you're willing to end something in your life here, Pisces, to make this realistic for you, to make this change where you have a better work-life balance, where you can give attention to partnerships, friendships, balance, getting out, etc. But you feel that your expectations are almost impossible. Please clarify the King of Wands. And you're almost like in a panic about it. You're like, if I give up my job and I go look for something else, because I really want to have my life feel like it's meaningful, you put yourself in a panic mode because you know what it's like to feel financially exhausted. And you become vulnerable at the sake of money. You don't want to feel like that. And I feel like Spirit is saying here is perhaps so that you don't feel like you're going to be in a panic or be impulsive in your behavior to try to change your financial so that you have a better work-life balance. Spirit is telling you that maybe you need to save for when perhaps that bad day may occur or an unexpected expense comes in. Perhaps you need to put away for some savings first before you make changes. And also be grateful for what you already have and save some of that for the future. Because if your future plan is to have a better work-life balance, save for that so that you can end something that is not giving you the abundance that you want in life. Please clarify the Three of Pentacles. I feel it's a real struggle for you this time with your financial future here in September. You're going to be like, there's a lot of internal struggle with this decision. What do I do with this? I want a better work-life balance. And I see you struggling here, Pisces. You really feel alone in this. Please clarify the King of Swords. And there's your card here, the Moon card, Pisces. So your fear is in the subconscious level. It's almost like you're manipulating yourself. Or there could be outside influences as well, right? It feels like with the Moon card, it's more about the subconscious. But you could have outside influence, maybe a parent or somebody that is telling you, you know, work hard, work hard, work hard, work hard. Then when you retire, then you can enjoy life, right? But what do you always hear from people that are retired? And I know some of you guys are already retired, but what do you hear? Right? Don't wait till you're retired to do the things that you want to do. You know, years ago, the retirement age was like 55, and you got your Social Security then. But they pushed it back, right? So what happened is when people retired at 65 or 66 years old, they now have health ailments, and they're unable to do those things that they wanted to do their whole life, right? So now they don't get to do it. So if you ever talk to somebody that's retired, they'll tell you Don't wait till you're retired to do the things that you love, because you may not be physically able to. And I feel like I'm being reminded to say that to you, Pisces, because life is short. You got to get out of your head here. There's always going to be a struggle. I feel like that's what Spirit's wanting to say, is that there's always going to be things that come up. There is always going to be financial hardships. There's always going to be something that breaks, right? There's always going to have to be a time where you have to buy a new car or, a new appliance or whatever it is, right? You're always going to have that. But perhaps what Spirit is saying here is to save some money so that you can release some of that anxiety or panic that you might have, so that you can do the things that you want to do, to have that work-life balance that you want here, Pisces. What is the outcome for the financial forecast for September for Pisces, please, Spirit? We have the Six of Swords reversed, and we have the Knight of Cups. Okay. Follow your heart. Knight of Cups, follow your heart. You're feeling stuck right now. The outcome is that you're going to feel stuck in what you are, and Spirit is asking you to follow your heart and your dreams now. Let go of feeling stuck, or let go of the emotional baggage of feeling like you're unable to live the life that you would like to live now. The outcome here is I do see you following your heart and releasing the emotional baggage. What is the advice? Four of Swords reversed. What is the advice? I feel like the advice here is telling you that your stress and panic and, waiting for, I'm waiting for just the right time to make changes in my life so that I can do what I want. By you waiting and delaying life for yourself is going to lead to burnout. So Spirit's advice here is to follow your heart, let go of the emotional baggage when it comes to financial. You're always going to have bills. You're always going to have things that come up. But if you continue down this road, it's going to lead to burnout. It's going to lead to restlessness and bitterness because you didn't do what you wanted to do in this lifetime, to have the work-life balance that you so much crave here, Pisces. But I feel like with the Oracle cards here, Spirit is asking you to save some money before taking the leap. Save a little money. Be grateful for what you already have. Save a little bit of that. Put it away, right? So that when you have that bad day, you've got that backup money. But to let go of the grievance of change so that you can walk towards the life that you want, where you have a better work-life balance here, Pisces. And the Star card is here. This is all about hope and making your dreams come true. Let's pull an Akashic Records Oracle card to finish up your reading, Pisces. But I feel like the overall message this month for your financial forecast is to go after your dreams. There's always going to be that rainy day, but perhaps save a little bit and then go after that work-life balance that you so much crave. And make those changes that are necessary. You got one life to live here, Pisces. You've been isolating yourself way too much and just work, and you're not enjoying life. Spirit message from the Akashic Records to finish up this reading for Pisces, please, Spirit. And it says gratitude, right? And it did say that in the Oracle card in the beginning. So it says there's always something to be grateful for, even in the darkest of situations. Now is the time to recognize what is going well in your life and what are you thankful for. When you give gratitude to the universe, it multiplies that gratitude. When you speak to the universe, I am so grateful for everything that I have. The universe hears that and gives you more of that. Remember, positive attracts positive. When you say to the universe, I hate this and I don't want this anymore and I'm afraid that I'm going to get, stuck in a hard place or whatever. What does the universe do? It gives you that, right? Because negative attracts negative. Positive attracts positive. So by having those affirmations of gratitude, you're going to bring in more of that abundance. And it was stated here as well. Be grateful for what you have and save something for the future. Use wisely as needed. I'm going to leave the message there for your financial forecast for the month of September. Have a wonderful month. And let me know how this resonates for you in the comment section. I do want to pull one card for the person who asked, and I don't know what your name is here. I'm going to use another deck. You asked a little bit about an inheritance. So I'm just going to pull one real card here just for that specific person and see what comes out for you. Because I know you asked specifically about a legal matter that had to do with an investment or a inheritance. I just dropped a couple cards. 1 second here. This is kind of outside the box here, but this is specifically for you. Ow. Okay, there it is. All right, so we have the King of Pentacles. So what I'm seeing here with this King of Pentacles being reversed, this is a tricky situation is what I'm feeling like when it comes to this inheritance for you. I feel like they're going to cheat you out of what is rightfully yours. If you're not already going through that is what I'm feeling. You're being cheated out of what is rightfully yours. Let me pull one more for you. Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of mental anguish going on with this, but I am feeling at this time for that specific question, you're being cheated out of what is rightfully yours. And with this Ace of Swords here is a lot of mental energy. There could be fighting. There could be an abuse of power in a situation, like somebody's taking over that inheritance, but it is rightfully yours and it's not being given to you. So I'm going to leave that there. I hope that you all have a wonderful evening. Please hit the like button, the share button, all the buttons if you want to. Thank you for being here. I love you guys so much, and I will see you tomorrow for your daily. Have a wonderful evening. Namaste.